Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Herders. You get confused what you're doing
Yeah,
on this little thing.
We've been doing the show for 73 episodes.
Is that where we're at? 73.
Yeah.
Wow.
73 weeks of this bullshit.
That's 9 more than 64, which was a great console. We were just talking about one that hopefully will be, but I'm skeptical. What do we today? We're the Over a Beer channel.
You're just off your game.
I'm not on. For
okay?
some reason, I'm so used to, because I always do the intro for the Over Beer podcast, which people should listen to.
Yeah, you can check that out on all podcast services.
It's great. And so then when I was getting ready to go, I just figured, well, clearly that's what we're doing.
So it's tripping you up.
Yep. I'm getting ready to talk about stuff that the people watching this video probably don't care about.
Yeah.
But I can't. I'm going to talk about stuff that they do care about. The first thing that hopefully everybody cares about, because you should, whether you're young or old or somewhere in between, beer.
Well, I imagine the younger ones probably don't.
They should care.
Okay.
Strive to get old so you can drink it. Don't drink it before then.
Yeah. Because nobody's ever done that.
No more teenage suicide. Live for beers. What are we drinking this week?
We are drinking today Ole Red Cease and Desist Wee Heavy Ale from Erie Brewing Company.
Erie.
There is
like that thought of teen suicide.
Yeah, there is no story on this one. Ooh, this is 10.1% alcohol. So we're in for a fun day. Fun recording. If you can get it open.
There we go.
I think this is the first Erie Brewing Company that we drank on here. I did try their Johnny Rails pumpkin. I think it's one of our most Instagram photos.
Really?
Yeah. It's got a.
Did I try it?
No, I drank it
Oh, okay. And you just put.
I posted it.
Gotcha. All right. Cheers.
And you should also follow us on Instagram at over_a_beer.
You know what I love?
This beer.
Well, this beer's good. A good red ale.
Mm-hmm.
Always a fan.
This is very good. Ole Red Cease and Desist. It's got a gavel on it. It's banging.
Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't even call it the. I would actually. I wouldn't even phrase it like that. I would not call it the greatest beer of all time, Killian's Irish Red. But it was the first beer that I had that wasn't absolute dog shit beer. It wasn't Natty Light or Michelob or Bud Light. It was the first one I was like, oh wow, these can taste good. There is a point.
Beer doesn't have to taste like piss water.
And then ever since red. What are your favorite types of beer?
IPA.
I mean, I like IPAs. I really like reds and browns.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I've never been a big sour
IPA
guy.
is good.
I like sour candies, but sour beers I've never been.
Sour candy. You know what I love? Well, it's like we're doing the show, the podcast again. Let's talk about video game news, and we can talk about candies that we love on the show maybe this week. So look forward to that.
So we got some news today, the day of we're recording this, that E3 is now going to allow 15,000 public guests to come in. The first 1,000 tickets are $150. All the other ones are $250.
I'm far away. Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, that's cool.
All right, that's our show. We'll see.
No. I see. When I first heard it, I was like, I got a tweet actually, like an alert, and I was like, huh, interesting. And I feel like we, honestly, even doing this little watch thing, we probably could have gotten it anyway. But I just saw it and I was like, interesting. I would like to go to E3 one day. I won't be able to go to E3 this year, but if this will probably not be the only year they do this, and maybe we'll be able to go to E3
one day. If it is, then
we
might still be able to go for this.
Then I read a couple articles and things like that, and slowly started to realize, because you hear, I've been to Comic-Con in San Diego multiple times, and you think about going to E3 and be like, wow, to be in that room for the PlayStation conference. Yeah. And it turns out,
no, you only are on the show floor if you're a public guest.
The conferences, which is what E3 is to me, is still just going to be for the press.
Yes, the press conferences are still just press conferences.
That really decreases the likelihood of me taking a trip out to Los Angeles for that.
Sure.
Because also, and I think beyond not being in there for the conferences, I think if you're on the show floor, like maybe this is gonna open it up for maybe exhibitors to be there selling like video game stuff, like at any video game, like any movie or comic conference. But I feel like then you would just be able to stand in a lot of lines and play games that are pretty near to coming out, because they're not gonna have, you know, the new Spider-Man game that's 2 years away.
Even if they do,
what are you really gonna learn?
Even if they have Spider-Man, it's probably gonna be behind closed doors.
That's what I'm saying. You would never be able to do it.
Now, the one benefit is, like, if it had been this past year, getting to see, you know, that big Zelda like thing that got set up, like how they went all out. Like, I think seeing that would have been
maybe they
cool.
wouldn't have done that, because Nintendo. I mean, I could be wrong, but Nintendo always does a huge booth. Actually, they rent out like a little convention hall next to the hotel that's next to San Diego Comic-Con. And I've gone to this. That's where I first played Skyward Sword, actually, months before it came out. But like, I didn't hear anything about them having Breath of the Wild there to play at last summer for general folk.
Yeah.
Did they at Comic-Con?
Oh, at Comic-Con, no.
That's what I'm saying. They did at E3, but that's like that might. I think if it was open to the public like this, maybe Nintendo wouldn't have done it like they did last year. Is my point.
Gotcha.
Maybe they would have. But
or maybe we'll see more companies doing. Okay, they're letting in the public. Now we're, you know, kind of like EA had like their own public event. Maybe Sony and Nintendo will do some kind of like more public friendly showing of stuff.
Maybe.
But
we'll find out this year. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, the one kind of deterrent that I instantly had when it said it was 15,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
I went, well, all of the videos that I've seen of E3 tend to be pretty busy. Because like you said, even somebody like us could probably get media passes to go in there. Or press pass, whatever the hell it is. Go there as press and cover it and talk about it on our show. So there's already a shit ton of people there. Throw another 15,000 people in there, assuming 15,000 people go.
Initially, what that made me think is the way that they're going to make a lot of space for this is a little thing like our shindig here. There'll probably be far, far, far more rigorous media credentials that are needed to cut back. So, like, people like us who maybe could have just gotten in will now have to just buy a ticket and pay money and not get to go to the other stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. It's cool. It's an evolution that probably needed to happen.
Yeah.
And also, 15,000 is a lot, and you're right. I mean, that place is always packed. But, like, when you look again at, like, San Diego Comic-Con, that sells 150,000.
Sure.
It's going to be hard to get that ticket. I guarantee you that. Mm-hmm. It will sell out almost immediately. Those first how much was it?
1,000.
First 1,000 will be gone before you even know it, and then the rest will be gone almost immediately, because 15,000
sounds like a lot, but really
right. If there were 15,000 people at a Yankee game, it would look like nobody was there, and that's not even a huge stadium. But it's cool. So would that, under those circumstances where you don't get to go to the conferences, where you don't really know if they're going to show anything that's not that far out, would you make that trip across the country, and the accommodations and the flights and the ticket price?
I would like to, based on...
I feel like there's better shows that you can go to.
Well, like
PAX.
I still would like to go to a PAX, but if this was a year where, like, I wasn't buying a new console and, like, money wasn't tighter, I had an extra $500 plus to spend. More than that, you know.
It would be for us, like, out to there, accommodations, the ticket.
It'd probably be 1,000.
1,000 easy.
If I had an extra 1,000 to just throw at it, I'd consider it.
Yeah,
but
just to say that you went to an E3.
But when the press conference is the most exciting part of the show,
and you really wouldn't even have like a great way of watching it then, being there.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, okay, I'm gonna hope for the hotel.
As you can be, and
I get to sit in my hotel room and watch it on my phone.
Yeah.
Streamed when I could be at home in the comfort of my own place.
Or at Regal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool though.
It's cool. It's a good idea. I think overall, and I think especially the more local people to it will
Oh,
like if they did something like that here and it was open to the public, I'd be all over it. Mm-hmm. Even for like 100, Star Wars Celebration's coming to us, and we wouldn't have flown out to London or wherever it's been LA before.
I mean, it was in Anaheim last year.
That was last year, okay. And we wouldn't have flown out
2 years ago
to that, but the fact that it's in Orlando now, boom, I bought tickets and I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, almost anything cool that comes to Orlando, I will definitely go to.
Yeah.
Without question. But are you going to go to E3? What do you think of this? Should let me ask you this.
Okay.
Should it stay just a press thing? Because this could be the slow de-evolution and further, honestly, this could really hurt companies like IGN and like some of these places where if you don't need to go to them as much, if fewer people, even 15,000 fewer people are going to IGN for E3 content, that will hurt them.
I don't think it really will hurt that much because there's still, all of these big companies are still getting the behind closed doors demo. Like a lot of the E3 demos that you see are similar demos that you see at PSX, at the PAXs, at kind of everywhere else.
Yeah.
And that they still cover those things. And I think there'll probably be a bigger divide of like the higher media, and maybe the behind closed door stuff will be harder to get into. Like if we were able to get in under, as press, maybe we couldn't get in. I don't know what the stipulations of any of that stuff are. I never looked too far into it. But and the fact that they are there at the press conference, I think, is still kind of keeping. Which even that has changed a little bit because we can watch all that stuff live. There's no, we don't have to go to IGN or wherever to see it. We can just watch it live.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's like us who keep up with it as opposed to somebody who's like, oh, that's cool. I'll check that out eventually. This came out. I'll go back and watch the video. And they go to a GameSpot or an IGN or a Polygon and look at the recap or the clip outs or...
Yeah. Just I mean, I agree. I don't think it's necessarily like gonna cripple games media, but it's a thought. What do you think about it? Are you gonna go? Are you gonna try and go when tickets go on sale next week? Let us know. You can tweet at us. I'm at Stonks.
I'm at Rich Belson. The channel's on Twitter at @OABeer_official. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. We're on Instagram at @over_A_beer. And of course, right here on youtube.com/overabeer. But that'll wrap things up for today. So until next time, drink up
and butter me up.